was a
That's the quickest 5 minutes of your life, isn't it?
A race against the clock, yeah.
But you made it.
I did.
How are you feeling?
I'm just recabling.
All right.
But I'm well.
That's all right. And you're in the right place. All right, when are you on your mark? Just head over here. We want to, I want the correct...
Yes, sir.
There we go. Good, good, good. And everyone's settled. The Dash just covered it. A-Core just copped an absolute shellacking.
He did.
And he might have to hand out one here in the server. We're getting into Dust 2. This is a map right here now. Has had some updates. Maybe you're not familiar with it, but we'll address that as we're going. Mouse versus Big, and away we go. Frozen. He tasked with spotting middle early, not going to see anything, and that's where the change was that I was just prefacing. That's aggressive on Cat, and you're going to see a lot more of these aggressive maneuvers here. Now, Big have played this map once throughout the Challenger stage against Ents, and they did pick this map up. They're going through the standard play right here. Out long, no contact. Note A-Core, head down towards the car. Dexter is baiting for him here.
Yeah, you boost Searson up, confirm there's no one ratting behind the car. So far, so good. And actually, A-Core, yeah, still being baited in. I don't know if they caught a glimpse of him staring at the floorboards. Wall of smoke, there'll be vision for Dexter slightly if he does poke his head out, and there's a whole squad there.
Well, they are still focused in on his position right now. If A-Core stands up, he is going to go down. Searson gets that into the site. They go. Whoa. Dexter with a trade, but Tabson, they're in.
Yeah, completely. I think Bemis is going to have to buy time. Kit's on Frozen. It's not like they can't go for this. A flash up short, perhaps regroup. Keto's there, though. And he's already pressuring Bemis, isolating him from the retake. Pack and a big one. Low on HP, but not low on confidence.
These are the three you want alive here for the retake. The Kit's up on Frozen. There's a flash as well.
Okay. Coming on in. Got to time this right. They know they've got that 5-second defuse. They're not in a rush. Rops, magnificent performance in the round. Mouse converted yesterday. Let's see what he can do to start off the CT side. He's been caught on the jump. Gade will finish him off. Nice connection with the P250. Problems for Mouse. Running out of players and time. Oh, and that's something out of Frozen. There's a different universe where those both connect.
Yeah, it looked like they could have been lining up there for a second, but a pretty standard response early there. From Big to the Dust2. Now, we're talking about with these changes that long may be even more important than it once was, right? Because of the issues in mid with the CTs being able to push into lower dark. Obviously, more presence that they can have barreling up mid or with those cap boosts. But this is a big one right here. If you're a German fan and you're tuning in, you might be a little bit torn. Now, Maus, obviously, the German organization from forever ago, going up against Big with the 4 Germans in there in the Berlin International Gaming. So there's a rivalry here between these two. On the jiggle went long here. Company again is just going to walk on. That flash is good. Warning shot
timing
there.
on this. He's not going to be hunted down, so he's allowed to retreat. You can see they're rejigging their defense. They want to get some more presence. Boosted up elevator is A-Core. That scout will still have relevance.
Just note that there isn't any aggressive maneuvers from Mouse across the map here. 2 players are planted on B. That is going to be Frozen and Rops. So it's going to just hit them like a bit of a shock unless they start moving for info, which BMAS is. A-Core's scout here needs to tag them up to at least make this one interesting.
Yeah, now that's confirmation of presence long still. And as smokes are thrown out, Searson tagged, and Dexter's Deke has taken down the bomb carrier. So with the bomb loose, rotations in, you can see Frozen starts to float back to the doors.
Cheeky smoke.
Stubborn on long though, Big back to long, 2 for 2, and Dexter, I love this. It's an unlikely clear, they might get a bit bloodlusty, and yeah they are, faffing around with nades, and he's missed his chance. Chad, I don't know about you, that should have been 2. Nade high. Will chip away further at Keto. The jump shot does connect. It's still threatening from Miles a man advantage. Searson trying to bail his teammate out of trouble. A smoke to play around Gade. Will deploy his util to house that short push.
Not using the smoke either.
Oh, and Bemis hits a big one. Mouse are fully locked into this one. Searson did have a chance, but look at that from way downtown. Handing out another heady.
That's 3 absolute scorches right there. One from Dexter to kick off proceedings to open up the account here, and then those 2 from BMS, who now you can see is slowly starting to grow into this tier 1 level of Counter-Strike here with a couple of nice shots like that. Huge round for mousesports to steal away here. This outstarted Smoke, just on the peak.
And he gets a second as well.
Yeah, you feel, I know what you're saying here, right? It feels like he should have converted that a bit cleaner.
I mean, you know, you can ask for perfection, of course. In the heat of the moment, he's done more than enough. And this one from Bemis.
Scorches.
The fact that that's straight to the dome. Searson could have been a real threat there. Like, scout, post-plant. We could have seen that go very different ways if Bemis wasn't banging. But he does, and Mouse take the force bite.
And almost here should be looking at a free second round of play. You can see just light upgrades here. Keto, the Deagle specialist for Big, has purchased in, but the rest are onto clocks. Looks like they want to go for the buy in the next round of play. All 5 sticking as a pack. Towards the catwalk position into A-Core, who Should be able to clean house here.
Well, I don't know. Keto's got a deagle, and well, he's the last man left, so not much more to be done for him, unfortunately, and there might be a nade with his name on it. Dexter sharpies that one up.
That's great, right? For mousesports to keep that relatively clean. Acor, the only man going down here. Those Galils carried through, starting to manufacture a bank very early here off the back of that force buy. So by Big not going for a force back, we normally see the force buy wars, right? They've allowed mousesports to have residual cash for the next round of play.
I was wondering how much of new Dust2 these teams have played. Taking a quick glance.
It's not a whole lot.
It is not a whole lot.
No, and that's the thing, right? This is still the... I know it's not the newest map in the pool, but the newest update. And there's Acor. We wanted AWP impact. They're into
Prime
lower
example.
dark.
Talk about new Dust2, quote unquote, new Dust2. They're in tons. 2 CTs, and it's a very uncontested fight as it currently stands.
This is one of the things that's going to be super jarring, and this is where the theory comes in, right? How are you going to deal with plays like this? You have to be a little bit slower on the defaults. You have to deal with upper tunnels. This is never the way the map used to play out.
I mean, imagine breaking through a Frozen and Rops lower ton CT setup, and they're still getting pressure from doors. Rops will strike, Gage is next victim, but a very well-found headshot. Keto looking the wrong way, unawares. Acor's AWP has filled the feed as well. Gage is his next victim. Well played by Acor, contributes. And Mao's 3.
That's great from Acor. 3 kills for him within that round, right? And that's what the desk were talking about, how the fact that this guy, he doesn't seem to be really settling into the level that the team need him. So showing up now in a big game, you'd love to see him find some impact. And that immediately falls flat for Big. They didn't get the AWP out for Sirison, their star AWPer. So we'll just be back down to pistols here. Legia, the coach, you can see him behind the crew tabs, and there he's got his little pillow in play.
Gaming pillow. Different spread.
Now we do... Oh, I was going to say, we do have a little bit of time here where we can get stuck in with the conversation. This should be another round that should be dealt with here. We had the pleasure of casting the last Big versus Mouse head-to-head over there within the RMR. And it was on Mirage, and the game plan there from Big, they were jumping down with Sirison into the underpass with the AWP, taking space. They had identified the details of mousesports. So since that, you know, if you're Mouse, you're going to have hoped to have added a little bit more depth to make sure you're not so easy to read, because Big are clearly very good at doing their homework. But this is a map where there's not a lot to look at, and it's a new map, right? Well, it's the update of the map makes it feel a little bit new, at least as far as its approach. And with that in mind, maybe the prep of Big here isn't going to be as good as what it would have been if they found themselves on a map like a Mirage. Snade, more damage, looking easy right now for mousesports.
If they can keep this one clean as well, they're really going to be flush for cash. And yeah, no casualties here. Sin and Tizian change the dialogue. But still, committing through to the site, bomb plant would be a real luxury. It's not going to be allowed. Bemis, Rops, both standing strong on the site. Acor's AWP is briefly in the intimidating hands of Searson, but it will be 4. Maus have completely nullified the pistol win from Big Clan.
Yeah, this is a great response here. Searson will be getting out his AWP, so we'll call this the first full gun round from Big. Everybody over on that Big side with the AK-47s otherwise. Utility looking good as well. Now, we've already noted early that mousesports want to take the risk to going towards lower dark. We'll have to see if that's going to be a spawn-based situation here, because they're playing 3 over towards the B site. A little bit of a boost over the smoke here. Rops elevating Acor over that mid-smoke for info, and Frozen over towards B early. So they will have 3 players to defend this if they do pounce.
That's well timed. Just at the perfect moment. The incendiary's about to fade. Get the instant plume. No chance for them to accelerate through it.
And here's the thing, you can see how slow Gade's having to be here on the jiggles, worried about any of these pushes. They didn't have eyes on mid early. But now we've just settled into a standard Dust2 round. 3 holding over towards A. You've got Bemis, the anchor towards long. Dexter, he's the swingman, going to play between CT spawn to help them into B, and the short play. And Acor, he's going to be mid-long. Frozen and Rops are locking down towards that B site.
I like their setup across the map, to be honest. The only real vulnerability is testing Dexter's mid-hold, but as it currently stands, it looks like they're walking into this Bemis Acor bait and switch. If you do... Oh, careful now, Acor could get time. They're going for a push.
This could be great.
It's huge. They're all doing the flashbang dance, and Bemis might get away with 2.
Shaky aim there.
1.5. Yeah, Stewie2K would be proud of the mouse wiggle. But returning to mid, that's enough of a deterrent.
Rops
and look
pushing.
at the initiative from Rops. He wants to take some space, and he might take some heads. If he tucks in... Keto's not ready. Incendiary, he's have to get out of there. Escape, buying time, Frozen to strike from the tons as well. They're in a box. A hurt locker, you can't get out. The nade is not bad. Tabson accelerating through with 20 HP. And Big Clan, where are they? The walking wounded right now.
Just one at a time. Rops. Ooh, Oh, should have had that one for free. The bomb's loose in tunnels. There's 15 seconds, and Tabson's trying to do it all.
Yeah, he's giving it a good go, but it's up to Searson and Tabson up against Rops here. If he gets one, he could delay. And he's got it. Time. Searson. It's of the essence. He's just lost the round as he waits for Rops buying time. Rops will take him too. Doesn't even get to hold on to it. In fact, he'll bring that AWP over for the double AWP setup.
Great little maneuvers from mousesports there. You know, BMS probably should have been worth a couple more. You could see how shaky his aim has been in a couple of these scenarios here. So I don't know if any of your old Source fans look a little bit Hex-esque from back in the CS Source days. But yeah, this is just great from Mouse. It's very jarring. Space that once upon a time on Dust2 you would have as granted is not the case anymore here.
I mean, in 6 rounds of play, Chad, we have seen 2 CT like round-winning plays from upper tons.
Yeah.
Like, that's just never, ever been the way.
It used to just be an info play. Now it can actually be something that you can hold on to, because you think about mid now, you can't spot from T-spawn immediately. Now you can drop down, you can do the boost. I know a lot of players think that that's something which, you know, you can use in lieu of that, but it's a lot of resource.
Did you see FaZe's, you know, aggressive Carrigan play, which had full utility to support that? They smoked the incendiary, immediately have a smoke on top of it. He's pushed through it. He's being flashed out of suicide to fight the long doors players. It's up, you know, there's counter utility to the boosts and extra ways to contest the early turns. Cross Big are looking a little lost here. A couple of Kevlar vests, some helmets for good measure. And already A-Core connecting shot from that short position. He's standing around. There's some bravery here.
I like it.
Yeah, he's got support. Bemis to stand his ground with him, and it's actually the USP. He gets 3 with the US. And Dexter will chuckle as he collects.
Maybe another timeout here for Big. Take the pace out of this. We just started, and we're already 7 rounds deep. This one is running away from Big here early, so a breather necessary, maybe a slow default, where you feel that you can actually set the tempo.
And a little point worth perhaps making is in the past 3 months, Mouse have not been playing Dust2.
No.
You know, I mean, a couple of qualifiers, a Pro League game against Big, but not since the change. So for Big Clan, in terms of being a preparation-heavy team, you're flying blind into this.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems right here is they think, oh, I think they thought it was a bit of a punish, but right now they're the ones feeling the brunt of that. Person hangs around, gets the opener. That is necessary for Big.
Yeah, and that is exactly why you so often see AWPers just burn down to 30 HP, standing and staring at nothing. Because more often than not, false sense of security with that incendiary deployed. Good sacrifice. Rob is burning too.
Oh,
he's got his toes tickled. The sound cue's been heard. He has to stand his ground. You can see Tabson aware he could punish, but the smoke is up. He can't molly him now. It's all about the timing. And Robs is allowed to slink away and reposition. Still though, Searson's worked hard for this man advantage. They can't let it slip. Dexter with a real gamble play. He wants to deny early long presence.
He's forcing them up short here. Oh, Dexter's gone down as well. Bomb dropped over towards short. That's going to be heard. It's going to be on Rops.
Yeah, can A-Core have another impactful round? He's coming hot today. 5v3. And A-Core's missed his chance. Won't get another one now. Running out of options. Tabson down. And it's over the smoke. The power of that one-way. It's just the tip of his bald head gleaming in the Dust2 sun. Keto strikes and Frozen just to save on what he can.
Yeah, it makes sense. You can see that BMS only has 950 in the bank balance. If you can hold on to this, there's still plenty of cash to splash and get the drops across, but lost bonus bottom of the barrel will only be 1,400 coming through for Mouse after stomaching this one. But there, that first kill manufactured by Searson, and that's one of the difference makers, right? Is if he can find you those opening picks, turn the round on its head. Now, yeah, look, we do have to credit A-Core for having a good early start to things, but he has 11 kills. I would say a bunch of those have been with the USP as well. Had a couple of eco bashes with that M4. It's going to be head-to-head on the AWP impact. Frozen might be able to catch a kill or two here. Tizian slip the net out the doors towards suicide. Frozen resides.
Tizian.
They'd love to take it off him, but it's not him. Here or there. They get the kill. Not the end of the world. Frozen sells 8.5. You clean house. And you start to work on bringing that CT economy into a position of humble. Now, I didn't think that CT spawns were necessarily going to be hugely important unless you were locking down the long doors, but that might come into play when we're talking about getting into lower darks. We might have to keep our eyes on that too.
Yeah, for example, Bemis has got an absolute banger should he desire, but we know his responsibilities are elsewhere. Frozen, however, your B player. And I spoke about double AWPs. Now, Rob's kind of baited me and immediately swapped over to the AK prior to the end of the other round, but we are going to be seeing it deployed now.
It looks like they're going to start 2 AWPs here over towards middle, just with the way that Rops and A-Core are facing right now. So If you wanted to throw one of them into upper tunnels to make a bit more of an aggressive stance, yes, I can understand that. Or you can even have both posted up. One could be looking towards suicide for the drop down. The other could go fight towards lower dark from the Xbox position. Could post up to watch back a catwalk. You can be very jarring over towards middle now, and that's going to be a continuous theme. But an important round for Mouse, and they take a timeout to let the coach of Mytha chime on in. 30 seconds to set this one right.
Different state of play for Big initially. They're going to get that info and contest for early tons. We're going to see Tizian feigning long presence. The long corner smoke will deny any early info that they could have sought.
He's creeping.
Robs the AWPer. An open angle, and he does collect AWP on AWP action. Rops delivers and defends the supporting cast, dropping the incendiary and just completely corrals them back towards middle. Just like that, you've got a two-man advantage. How do Big dig themselves out of trouble?
Seems like an interesting site to go in pressure like that. Robs and Frozen locking that one down.
Yeah, in terms of finding the lesser of two evils.
I could tell you which bombs I'd probably prefer to go to.
Especially, have you seen the stats of Robs at this tournament? It's just every single 1 point something. The dude is delivering on a consistent basis. That superstar level. Acor stabilizes.
Had to get that.
Just as vision's restored, and there's Tabson falling to secure. Gade, he's been looking better as an individual, finding his feet in the Big Clan jersey, but up against an AWPer holding this line. He's going to try and bait the shot. He has, and trying to profit just about across the line, but the bomb plant not going to happen. Gives it a good go. 7 though for Mouse.
Ooh, they didn't get the double AWPs back, right? It's only Rops has carried on through. So you could have Dexter dropping an AWP if they think the double AWPs is necessary going forward. Just seeing how they're going to jig up this buy now. Looks like they've gone back to 4 rifles around the AWP, but once it starts like this, the fact that they even were able to get a couple of kills is pretty good for Big, right? They should be counted out of this round with how early both of those frags came in. But money's there.
Great to see Dexter, who's also, you know, delivering in an individual capacity. He's hanging with the big boys here.
Here we go, the dark aggression again. This is the second time we've seen this play.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I mean, they're out long and Dexter's stuck around. He hasn't really got time to retreat here. That smoke will fade. Pressure is high, and they've sprayed him through. Tabson, he's got his head screwed on tight. He knows what's up. Acor's going to have a lot on his plate here, because that tunnel's aggression, Chad, needs to get some answers, and get some answers quick.
Yeah, well, they know that upper tunnels is completely clear, but how far are they going to push the issue? Do they want to go all the way into T-spawn? Because they could lock the door on this, but it's going to be too late. They're just walking up.
And they're committing to this, so I guess it kind of looks like if Acor doesn't find 2 initially, they might have to find the same.
Decision.
Not a bad incendiary, but trajectory does betray his position. Nade shy of the mark. The incendiary does look promising towards the ramp, but now it is yeah, all onto Acor. He's slipped to CT.
They still haven't pushed. Are they just going for the save here?
It's possible. Don't forget their finances have been already kind of gutted.
Yeah, this is looking very safe right now.
They've managed to get Bemis and Robs up. A second incendiary to buy time, the short regrouping. You're going to have 3 there by the time that fades.
And full sets of util on Frozen and Acor here. Well, full enough.
Can't believe Big have not planted. They haven't cleared Gandalf. They're paranoid about that. Acor, in the meantime, has caught that car player. And they'll just play for the retake. There's 3 on ramp. Some good, well-placed util will make this very uncomfortable.
They could execute on the site from short and CT here if they'd like.
Acor can smoke off the long player. Searson would have to peek around it. They've got the full one-way as well, and that's a snappy one out of Bemis. Looking threatening, 2 on the ramp to break through. Who dares poke their head up, and the nades land, obscured by the smoke. Tizian strikes, Acor needs one on the walker, and he's lost his head. Surely Mouse concede this one. There's just not enough time, and another in the feed from Searson. Trying to make it hurt, trying to punish as best he can. Frozen on the way out the door. Just about gets away with it.
Okay, well, handled there from Big. It didn't look great for a second there. One of the notes that maybe people not too familiar with is the fact when Acor tagged Keto through the car, he didn't know he was there, but then the decals of the blood on the back wall, right? So when he pops his head up and looks again, oh, there's definitely somebody there. I definitely got a tag, and he did even get that kill. And that's what made that look kind of possible for Mouse.
So if decals can give you info like that, why do people like to clear them?
I think in certain situations, right, if you're holding a line and you want to make sure you can clearly see the head, it's a good opportunity.
If it's a dark helmet and it's a dark blood, okay.
Yeah, but back in the day, in different versions of the game, it would help people identify where they died from and the angle of the kills. But back into the tunnels again, Dexter tested along one more time.
Get out of
through.
He's got some indecision here. Do you stay or do you go? Util, you can see in the form of Bemis to support Dexter as he's potentially going to be Molotov'd out. It's not like Big Clan don't have a bottle of flame available.
If this is the play, though, just take long. When the spawns aren't there, Big are going to struggle.
Here it comes. Bails himself out with the... Oh, actually, it's a bit shallow. They've let that one slip. It could be a follow-up, it could be deliberate, but Dexter's happy to maintain some control here, and here's the confirmation of his position. Gonna have to stand and fight, and Tizian ready for it. I like that. I like that smoke a lot. That might lead them to second guess the cross on their deployed wall smokes. They don't have two more. They have to get, if they want to get across, it's going to be now, and one way's dropped as well for the ramp. This is going to slow down Big considerably. Frozen, what are you up to? Moon walks out of the smoke, does get caught. Tizian with the double so far.
Needs a flash from Acor to peek here.
He's in the sky. Bemis has a glance from the Gandalf position. I think he would need a magic spell to make this deagle remotely threatening. Acor, he's got the lineup to deny the default plan. Time is still plentiful. They aren't in any particular rush, and that's a little late on the incendiary. It will spread, but Gade gets it down, and Tizian's doing this on his own here.
Should be a save here. I don't think Rops and that of Acor should be considering this. Get on out, hold on to the rifles. The bank balance has been destroyed at this point.
Well, fair play to Big. They're pulling off the relentless long pulls, but you were saying that perhaps this is going to be very spawn dependent.
Yeah, because we have to wait and see what spawns they get in the next round of play, because you can see how much early pressure they're applying to Dexter. Now, there's no reason they can't take it late. It's just a little bit more difficult because the timing is you're both meeting. As they come out the doors, you get to the corner.
And you don't have to be a genius to see the Big Clan response to the new Tons aggression that Mouse were working with.
Go the opposite side.
Go to as far away from upper Tons as you can.
We'll just avoid that altogether here, but keeping it close, 7-4.
But what you discussed as well, like, I mean, unless they do mix it up, but if that same pressure is felt early, if Acor's are again smoked and flashed and Dexter's finding himself on the car, I wouldn't mind if one of those B players does try and lock the door through T-Spawn.
Yeah, they could be a little bit more aggressive here, but unlike us, they don't have that lovely X-ray view. I think they're expecting a safety net to be in backyard, in T-Spawn. That's a really hard fight, because I just want people to understand is if you're peeking out of upper tunnels towards T-Spawn, there's the upper ledge, there's the left and the right. You've got so many positions to worry about here, but it is just the two save them fours. And how long they go again.
Searson was watching that cross, had nothing to report. Ross, the B player, has died on long.
They should just stick to their guns here though, Big. You just put a lot of resources into getting this long control, and rinsing and repeating. Not going to be too many dramas right here, especially knowing that you've dropped the rifle so early.
They're happy to just bide their time. They'll just take the fights as they come to them.
Be interesting to see how that car molly starts to land now. Right? Are they going to go for the car itself, or are they going to go for the corner again? I don't have too many of those hiccups. You can see that one's a little bit deeper, so it's the opposite right there. You can see they've burnt out the whole backside of the car here. Has been a position used by mousesports significantly within this first half. Now the numbers are in the right place, but they've actually dropped on back. Just feigning their presence, even throwing out the double smokes to keep the boots planted. And all the way safely back through T-Spawn.
A lovely little mix-up, especially in the kind of anti-saved rifles.
Yeah, I think this is good because even if it is against an eco or a scenario like this and you are hitting the other side, it keeps it in the back of their mind that it's still a possibility. Searson's taken down Bemis, Gade's taken down Acor. This was a almost foregone conclusion here as the kills come on in as part of the fake. Last man to find, Dexter's through. And a little bit of damage there. Does get traded out, the AWP will be saved. And problems as far as the buy goes for mousesports here. There's a real opportunity for Big to level things up. We've got the silenced M4s in play, but the AWPs have been a factor of this for the likes of Acor and Rops. But it will just be 5 M4s, util there, mollies are light, diffuse kits yet to be seen. So some emissions, and maybe, just maybe, that will mean mousesports have to go for something a little bit more team-based or aggressive. Now the lower dark plays are fine, but if nobody knocks on the door, you're not getting a whole...
Towards short.
Not getting a whole lot. Here's that boost. This time not seeing anything. Early from Searson's POV.
Undeterred by the death of Rops. Bemis again, cross early. Not going to be seeing the electric pole smoke, often when paranoid about that fast, long presence. And instead, it's up towards the catwalk, up towards short.
This would be the perfect time now, when there's no AWP in A, to go for an A execute, right? Get the smokes up to the bridge, smoke to the one-way. If you have all the goodies, this is the great round to do exactly that.
And they're lining up for it now, Chad. You've already got Tabson tucked in on that box. He'll be responsible. Actually, he doesn't even have a smoke, so let me gobble my words. He's going to be the first one in. Searson and Gade equipped with the required smokes.
This is curious. Are they going to put a lot of presence here? Do they just want to keep the swing player of Dexter busy? Or do they actually want to try and look for something off of this? There's the...
The Vanguard smokes, we used to call them.
Did it miss?
Doesn't quite look up to snuff, but this is interesting. The A fake drops through CT. It's wide open for business, and there's still 3 members of Mouse worried about the wrong bomb site. Nothing to report from Rob. Frozen's lost his head, and Big really looking like a brand new team after the initial shortcomings after the pistol.
Well, that one works as well, right? That swingman of Dexter that I'm talking about here, in a lot of these scenarios, they tend to play on towards that CT ramp or CT spawn. So with Tabson coming through, they secure that nobody's going to be able to help assist through CT. And they make their way very easily on towards that B bomb site. So
You've conditioned them enough to be scared of A, scared of long, committed to those fights. You've demonstrated you can do things slowly, so not to over rotate initially. And now you're doing fakes back to the B bomb site.
And they're going to take it away here. Bemis goes down. All the guns are dropped. 2,900 is the loss bonus coming in for mousesports, and they're going to have to stomach a half buy here. And then they're going to be buying in the full buy for the final round to potentially get themselves an 8-7. So what looked very, very good has kind of simmered on out. The timeout called from Big here just to discuss the last few rounds of play. Now, they've been doing it without a lot of long spawns, right? You can see how far Gade and Keto have spawned back from there. It's just Tizian with that long spawn, but they've been able to get away with it with really good flashes and the corner smoke, all those goodies there, have been able to get that real estate. So one of the keys for Big here, even if this round does get costly, they're still going to be able to buy next round regardless, right? So both teams are going to have full buys for the final round of play.
Did you find the hand warmers actually helped when you were getting them when you were playing?
They didn't exist when I was playing.
You actually didn't really
No, like we didn't get the 1.5 meters worth of desk room. We like half the standards you see right now didn't exist when I was still competing.
So you crawled so they could walk.
Something like that.
I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, all the things they have going for them didn't exist.
Robs is lucky to have gotten away with that, and he's brave enough to have his teammates try to moonwalk out. I see your head. Frozen's dead. The bait doesn't quite connect. I do like this from Dexter, but he's going to be hard-pressed to find impact with this Deagle. Sisson's still there. Oh, and with the bomb retrieval, this could be a destabilizing play. What a shot. Converts off the initial scout tag. And now they're going to have to be slowed down. Keto, though, is late at spawn, and Dexter's doing it all.
They're locked in.
They are. They're wrapping him, though. The suicide pressure. I love the smoke. They'll have to push through it. Gray screen and more information. A shot goes awry. Dexter strikes. He's doing it all. Just starting with the Deagle. Tizian will pick up the remaining pieces and stop that before it goes too far.
Oh, this is winnable now.
Yeah, thanks to the leader. From down under, sends 3 down under to the Shadow Realm. Still not going to be fun for Mouse to actually convert Dexter's handiwork.
No, this is problematic still because the bomb is going over towards B, and Tabson very careful about this. Aiko, if he goes down without a fight.
Live. Bemis screaming the same. He's ahead of the incendiary. Oh, and an information play has led to Tizian's demise. That scroll wheel costs him, and now into the B site. There's still a 1v3 on the cards here.
They need to scoop up some of these guns to try and make this retake possible. They know where he is now. Smoke Molly going to signify that. No early pressure. Tabson will be able to get the bomb down without too many dramas, but they're already fast in tunnels. He's locked in.
Okay. AK on Bemis. He'll likely be the third man in. Tabson loses vision temporarily. He's got 24 bullets in the mag, and it's Acor loud about this. So there's the info. Car. They need to strike in unison here. Rops and Bemis to convert. They need to time this right. Rops losing his head. Tabson nearly pulls the clutch out of the bag. A good conversion in the end. Bemis puts the cherry on top.
Had a couple of nice shots here, Bemis. He's had a lot of impact on these lower buy rounds. Remember the Force? He had those scorches of Deagles, and now here with 2 big kills as well. So great stuff from the kid. Really liking what we're seeing now, and they'll get themselves up to 8 in a round that they should have never been contesting, and you have to look to Dexter as well.
I mean, both of these, like Frozen's death, almost more justified now. You see that during that, maintaining the AWP's attention led to that slip-up catwalk, which led to these 3 frags.
The Keto one was great, right? The awareness to be ready for that. So Dexter, massive stuff from him.
Huge.
And that's going to mean the buy is looking real juicy for Mouse. They were going to be able to purchase anyway, but double AWP's back out, and they found success with this before, but we go back towards long with Sirrison's AWP.
It's Acor v Sirrison, and Acor pulls the trigger quicker.
That's good stuff. A big head-up win right there. We've seen how that's looked when the kill's gone the other way. So this time, Mouse are setting themselves up to win this half 9-6. They've even scavenged the AWP back.
Go on, Acor. 16 frags and counting.
Guess he was just waiting for the most high-pressure moment to show up, huh? The 2-2 to qualify for the Legend stage.
Might have something to do with it.
Oh, this is Force mid to B right now.
Yeah, and they're making it very clear. Double smoke for the commit. Oh, Dexter, he denied the perfect supporting flash. Acor again puts his name in the feed, this time with the flashbang, and they secure it with ease. A nice little tail end of the half for the CTs.
If I'm Mythra, I'm really happy with this. This is some of the better Counter-Strike we've actually seen them play, and I know that they had that massive lead yesterday against Renegades that they floundered, right? So you're not going to be losing focus here, right? You've already gotten close to dropping a series. And maybe, just maybe, you should have absolutely destroyed the opponent here. But we can take a little bit of a quick look at the scores on the doors right now. Acor up to 16. Dexter, he's doing the same right now for the CT side. For the mousesports side. And on the CT side, it's Tizian with 12 and Tabson with 12. So those are the frag leaders. Now we do move over to mousesports on the attack here. Taking a look at their buy so far. Dexter's gone for U2, and so has Acor. The rest are going to be into the Kevlar. And on the CT side, they've actually opted for triple HEs. There are 3 players with utility on the big side for this. So what do they have in store for us?
Interesting.
It's an early nade lobbed out. No damage done with that. Seriously aggressive, smoked off, and he can use that to his advantage.
He could hide in that. Oof, I think they caught a glimpse of him. So no funny business from Searson. Flashed in again, and the counter is there. Wow, great damage inflicted. A couple of clicks, and he's looking to string together a second as well. Shy of the mark. Short is lost. And back to regular scheduled programming.
This one's going to slow down now, but note the damage of Frozen and BMAS. Gage still has a HE. That could be well placed at any point in this round, and it could get him a kill or 2. Still have that kit, and Dexter still has all of his utility, and now the USP in hand. Plenty of time on the clock to play with this one here, and it doesn't look like they've made up their mind, so this mid-round call coming out now. Led by Frozen, clearing out towards long. Rops still in towards the upper tunnels, having a prod, and he's gone down.
Keto and Pistols, an iconic mix. Tizian playing the headshot angle. It's a common clear. Bemis, however, so vulnerable. One click would set him up. It's Dexter that loses his head, and wow, clean from the clicks there. Big Clan connect. And back on the board, 7 to mousesports 9.
Okay, well that's going to be both pistol rounds for Big here. Do we see the mousesports force buy back on the T side? Didn't get the bomb down, not going to be able to drop those AKs, but if they have a set piece right now, a little bit of a pocket strat with some Tech 9s, all those goodies, they can definitely opt to go in that direction. Or the flip side of that is take the full save, don't purchase here whatsoever, and buy into the AKs into the next round. And it looks like that's the one they've gone for here, the latter of the two. Just a P250 for Rops. And a tag early. Searson continuing to lay down pain. The nades are there, the headshot through the doors, and he gets to farm up a bit with his scout. A bit of a wobbly nade, but we'll pretend we didn't see that one. And they just want to harass right now, so this one should be all over Red Rover. Searson continuing to pick, mowing him down. Gade's going to join in for the fun, and oh, it's just Acor. Last man standing.
Very unenviable task for him, but he gets it done quick. Gage farming a bit of extra cash as well with that MP9.
A couple of dramas here if you look at Big's buy now. It's a drama depending on how they apply these. 3 MP9s left over. Do we see an aggressive maneuver with these? Because they know that the AKs will be coming out on the other side with the buy that they have just dismantled. Now, you'd hope in a bonus round like this that you would do something a bit more risque, right? Play a little bit close short, go for those mid pushes into those lower tunnels, close down the distance.
Yeah, but this is always the other side of the bonus coin. Charging, Gade, not releasing W for anyone. And Dexter, he's wise to these tricks. He's pulled it off. There is. Oh, he ate it.
Bad timing.
Very bad. Gade have lost all of the potency of that push for now. Searson trying to drop another, and that's the end of that for Gade. Not pretty. Mouse can just turn the pressure up now. Regroup, play your numbers. An Xbox smoke deployed.
Would have to be a gamble stack here from Big to be competitive in this round. Rops is already pressuring B.
That smoke alone is going to imply that could be short presence, keeps them in the dark here. Rops still keeping the B shot and B CTs here. Yeah, it could. Messi, and they peek him together. Nice work, Keto. The only M4 in play, and they've seized an advantage out of that. Double kill in the tunnels. Mao's now having to go back to the drawing board and back to wait. It will work. Tabson's deep into CT. He'll hear this now. And you can see that help is far away. Keto might have to start his rotate. Smoke to enable him to contest a little. Well-placed nade, chunks Bemis heavily. But you can see bigger a threat here on the bonus. A very big one. Careful if you poke your head out of that smoke. Timer on it. Acor spotted. Tizian still alongside with an MP9. Threatening weapon. They're going to be flooding in. The util's there. The frags are too, and Big Clan, what a recovery. They don't lose another man, Chad.
Look, with how that started, the flub on the timing there with the flash, they were probably looking to win this round if that went off without a hit, right? So that made it a little bit more difficult here, but the way that they approached that, the detail I love the most in this entire round is as soon as k1to knows that there's pressure, he waits for Sirisen's rotation. He peeks as Sirisen jumps up with the scout, and you can see Rops at that moment. Look, he's good, he's great, but there's no way he's hitting both of those shots. Able to swing on out, you know, he's got the faith that his teammates there to trade, and k1to with a massive double just sent mousesports into an absolute tailspin. The plant, that has salvaged the round for Mouse going forward because it means that, hey, look, we can get some AKs back out again and continue to be competitive here. But for them to go in against that bonus and now give across 3 AK-47s, they're in a bit of trouble.
They certainly are. No one actively contesting deep long here. We saw how Big Clan like to execute this. But you have to break through Sirisen's off, but he's no slouch. Dexter just puts his head in the vice. And Sirisen, happy to squeeze.
Thrust forward here. They're not going to expect this. Alex, they're not going to expect this.
It's so ambitious, and it means this close corner now.
There's no way they're
you
ready
just
for
assume
this.
it's clear, and gets the info at least. Bemis aware, but that was the bomb spotted long corner.
They don't have anything to address him with. They only have a flash and a smoke left over. There's nothing they can do.
Oh, and that flash is just enough to at least take the initial fight, but he lives on. The cavalry's here. I don't know how they're supposed to get themselves out of here. Gate's about to lock the door, and Rops may have bailed them out of trouble a little. Sirisen, however, just keeps on peeking. Frozen's his next victim if he desires. And we're into a 3 versus 4. Now, 55 seconds. They still can count on k1to to be their early warning system. Acor trying to convince them there is still a threat here on long. Takes a pot shot, a little slither gap. But rejigging their defense now. Big and not going to let this slip easily.
Yeah, that AK and pit is nice for Acor to pick on up, but this lower dark fight is everything right now. Pass.
There's so many players around the corner. And that's the strike. k1to, high impact. And just as the attention is drawn, Tizian gets a free one into the booty.
Liking the CT side from Big here, pretty dynamic. I like the balls on Sirisen to make that type of play. The desk we're talking about, AWPers, you know, needing to take the game into your own hands. Well, Sirisen just made a huge play right there. I know he didn't get a lot out of it. There you have it, k1to final kill. 10-9 now, first to double digits is Big. And now without that plant, you have some problems on the mousesports side. It will have to just be a partial investment here. Dexter just on his first glance, AWP too good. And Sirisen didn't look flustered either. A player who, if you've been watching the online era of Counter-Strike, you know, he likes to play from home more often than not, but looking comfortable in this environment now. Such a key factor for this big roster. Timeout called, and you can see Mitha here chiming in.
So 6 teams locked in already. Heroic just pulling themselves across the line there against Movistar Riders in our opening game of day 4. VP, we saw them go 3-1 as well. Entropic, Copenhagen Flames, Ents, and FaZe. How are your pick'ems doing? Let us know.
Or maybe you don't want to.
Yeah.
You close your eyes and hope the next stage is a little bit better.
Have you ever got a diamond coin?
I don't know. In the past when you had to watch and we're at events, and when I was on the analyst desk, I didn't get a PC to log into like I get here, so I never got to watch.
Oh, now then. That's the dream start to a buy like this. I say buy, quote unquote, buy some scouts.
That could be huge though right now because that is so early within this round.
You could force a save out of Big. If you just somehow connect onto Gade without any more tells or info plays, this could just lead to Big accepting defeat. And Frozen's given them something to hold on to here.
Now they have rotated one man close towards Spawn, which is going to be Tabson here. Now it's going to be on his intuition to whether or not there's any backup for Gade or not.
I mean, they're definitely going to be paranoid about B after one of their B players has gone down on doors.
There's a couple of dramas here, though, for Mouse. It's literally just bullets. They have to hope that somebody oversteps the mark again. That flash is telling, and that's a huge tag. Yeah. They know that he's damaged towards B.
So they know it's 1.5 players. Over towards the B side of the map. Frozen's responsibility was holding that mid-cross. They have that information to work with. Don't forget the buy is unideal. Suboptimal Deagles, and the last of their nades is coming in. Gade has to clean house here. Has to sweep them under the rug. And Dexter's already a threat. The supporting flash is great, but not great enough. And they've done it. They've broken down the doors, and what Frozen started, Mouse will finish.
timing here from the push. Tizian could take down Frozen if he's not careful. But you're right, they just needed to get the side control and force them into the save, and they're going to do exactly that. Even though it is just up against this half buy, that is another massive round for Mouse. That's 3 for them now in similar fashion.
Yeah, and you know how this feels. You know, we've genuinely changed the map to stop teams being able to win rounds off the basis of a long door headshot, and he still pulled it out with that scout. Just a very quick pluck and track through the doors, loses his head, and the rest just falls into place.
Yeah, that's crazy right there. mousesports have 3 of those now, right? 3 of those scenarios.
So the second round, Beamer Steegs.
Then the second last round of the first half, where Dexter got the massive 3K and Beamer's coming in to find out the 1v1 scenario. And now this one here. So when you look at those rounds, they're difference makers. These are the rounds right now where even both pistols going in the favor of Big, mousesports have a real chance to push the issue here. If they can win one more round, they should be able to break the majority of the bank. And to think, yeah, that's how it started. Just a quick on shot through the door. Bang. Great stuff from Frozen there. You don't understand at that moment how huge that's going to be, because in a lot of those occasions, it could just fall apart. But here we go. The buy's out. And over towards B, they trundle with 3. Bemis is long. Dexter jumping to mid-info. And Acor's aggro here.
Careful, bro. Very aggressive, hoping to catch another one of those early openers that felt so good in the previous. Swallows the flashbang. It'll be interesting to know how stubborn they'll be about breaking into this B site. They're pulling all of that util out. That's nice. They've drawn it out. Flash smoke so far out of Keto's grasp.
A part of this as well is now they have full tunnels control, right? You can see the defaults once upon a time traditionally used to be 1 babysitting outside long doors, 1 back at cat, 1 spotting down mid, and 2 towards tunnels. 1 was dealing with the upper push and 1 the lower. But having so many more bodies here just to get this real estate, now Dust2 can play out as it normally would. A lot of responsibility for Bemis here, but quite clear they want to finish B, and Tabson with a great read. He's going to back up Gade and Keto over towards this side of the map. There's a void that is going to be towards A here, but right now they look like they're sticking to their guns, Mouse.
This is a good setup. Gade's going to have to be very quick to respond. He's currently just jiggling for the mid-slip. Keto's advancing. Oh, yeah, second-guessing himself now, because here they come. He's got the perfect weapon, but nothing to report. Some insignificant damage, but it's Tabson, the man that rotated in, gets a quick 3-piece. The bargain bucket. Acor pulls a cancel, and they are trying to save, but the spawn is already occupied. Tizian can twist the screw further, and will. Acor holding on to what he can. The AWP. 18 frags from him so far. He's been delivering, at least in that first half, in a large capacity. But they are running him down.
Yeah, and he needs to survive here, because they're going to need to call on him to find entries, right? Frozen did it earlier with the scout here, but if he can get a good long spawn, he can take that fight. If they can set him up over towards B and he can catch somebody sleeping, that's going to enable them here to get back into this game. But it's still very, very close. And I love that from Tabson. So his read was huge. He locked them down there. So Keto is more than happy to take that fight. This was the nade I was highlighting here. Perfectly timed. You can just see landing and doing so much damage. Tabson, for an in-game leader, he is a huge force to be reckoned with.
He has been for so long. You know, just never seems to have lost his tarnish individually. Lost his tarnish, lost his varnish.
This is quick, so Dark Control already taken. Very regular Dust2 and Frozen straight into Sirison there. Tried to change the pace, but Sirison ready for this.
Yeah, just tucked in enough to avoid that early pop. Strikes.
Here's the deal, though. You know where the AWP was. So Dexter, he would like to get a move on towards A and apply pressure, try and draw that AWP back on over. But Sirison's pushed up at tunnels right now, so there is so much information. Look at all this. He's got the AD kill and decided with the AWP that he wants to walk all the way to T-spawn. mousesports, you're in trouble and you don't even know it.
Good to see Sirison kind of let off the leash a little bit. A couple of the plays in this first map have kind of demonstrated that he does have a bit more freedom to maneuver. 4 gathered up on Cat.
That has to be more than an educated guess, right? That has to be the prep work, knowing that Frozen tends to go over towards Dark on these defaults.
He's been kept very humble. 6 frags for David Zienansky.
All good util from Tabson again. That lands on 3. Well, they have to go.
They're on their way. About 8 or so seconds left on those smokes, and they will peek over them, but Tabson, he's all too wise to your wicked games. Running out of time, running out of teammates. They need a quick two-piece here. What's he got for us? Beamer's looking the wrong way. He's going to try and get the uncontested plant. He's running out of chances here and does deliver at least one, not the second. Round over. Robs to hold on to his AK-47, but yeah, Big Clan definitely looking like the more well-oiled machine at this point.
Yeah, I think that's more than an educated guess with that type of a push, because it's so risky for an AWP player to push like that. Now, we were talking about it earlier. When we got to see these guys go head-to-head over in the RMR event not that long ago, Sirison was literally jumping out of the mid-window on Mirage, going underpass with the AWP, and pushing all the way behind them in a T-spawn. So it's no surprise that Big have a good read of mousesports and where the gaps are.
Yeah, Inferno next.
Nuke that we had as that third map, wasn't it? So I thought that we might have been heading to the Mirage based off of the best of one of the RMR here, but wanting to go to Nuke, and look, both teams have their struggles on this map at the best of times. Mouse will be able to buy again, but things are starting to get bleak now. The AWP is back, the AKs are out. But what's the change-up going to be here? Rops has a good long spawn. Do they want to go in for the Hail Mary, take that full long control, and let's go for that standard approach? Big seem to have good responses here. Doesn't look like it. More of a default spread yet again. A-Core dropping down. We'll be taking the fight here, and careful on the jump there. Just making sure they can't go lower. Sirison seems to have an idea. I think he wants to get him jumping. He will.
Oh, that's on him for my money. Just getting that info. Sirson's got eyes like a hawk, and flashed off the line, confirms the AWPing presence still there, and now starting to re-maneuver. Haven't seen them try long. I mean, a deep smoke currently deployed by Tizian to keep him housed.
If they can get short control here with everybody alive, and then go for a full set piece, and then have maybe the one late player go out long and do a classic A-take, then it could be all right here, but they have given up openings in a couple of these occasions now, which is making their life a lot more difficult.
And the beauty of Tizian being the solo long player and dropping such an early deep smoke means he gets a nice early warning indicator. Likely going to hear a flashbang before they even return to his part of the map. He can chill. Sirson on quite the opposite. He's got a lot on his plate.
Have to flash him off here, or a molly something. A run boost. You can't just step on out into this.
Yeah, that sounds like they will. And it's an easy one. Another opening death for Frozen. Not having the most fun here on map 1.
Sirison being mobile with its AWP is stumping Mouse. They just don't know where he is, and they're walking around the map into him.
Like, don't forget, Frozen was the one that got flashed up the mid doors as well. Sirson plucked him out. It's happened again this time on short. Sirson's everywhere they don't want him to be. Oh, a big chunk taken out of Mouse there. About 50 damage dealt. Distributed to 2 members of the Mouse Boys. Go on, Sirson. You got any more for us? 2 already. There's more on the repeat. A-Core punishes that, but the rest of his teammates starting to disintegrate. A high flash will catch him on their progress. A-Core will just about be getting it down uncontested. They can boost elevator though. Opting for the walk up instead.
Need a Rops moment here.
Haven't had too many of them. Here comes the boost. He does pluck the head. Vada taps his shoulders. Long range. Tizian shrugs it off. He's in a very uncomfortable spot now. Too many angles to be responsible for. Caught in no man's land. And Big pulling closer and closer to that 16 mark here on their map pick.
Now, I know that Tabson's leading the charge in terms of the frags right now for this big roster here, but Sirison's impact, it has to be noted, right? Getting the opening kill in all these rounds is just making their life so easy. It's making it so easy here, and it's a 3-on-5 before you even have to start worrying. And then you have Bemis going out long because he's part of this split. You're hoping that your teammates are getting traction so that you can come out and kill someone in the back. Bemis is going to have to take a heads-up duel against Tizian, who could be in one of 4 or 5 different key positions. So, well, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Just keto.
We'll see. It's only up against the AKs. It's not going to be too scary. Frozen, not again. Struggles to contribute. If they can just finish the job, how has Tabson got away with that? He takes another one. Oh, disaster strikes for Mouse. Tabson steals a second frag and his survival. He actually chose just to stand still. They're anticipating the retreat, but he just evades the bullets through the smoke and pulls another one out of the hat.
Here's the thing, it's not that Mouse are rinsing and repeating the same strategy time and time again. They've had a whole bunch of different looks here, but they've been denied every single time.
And no fun at all to be had here for Ops and A-Core. Bomb already under the full lockdown. Look at Searson's on the minimap there. He's actually heading to T-spawn. Oy, oy, oy.
there's no good option here, right? One of the keys is you'd like to be able to plant the bomb. And we talk about max loss bonus bomb going down, being able to buy. But it doesn't feel like that's going to be possible whatsoever. Now, plenty of time, sure. But to get the bomb in this position, Pit, potent. You can't go back to the doors because Syrison has that lockdown from T-Spawn, as you mentioned. And the other two, well, they're just hanging around waiting until they're called into action. So I don't want to say that they should save, but I don't see what else they can do.
That's a nice one from Robs. Caught off guard and still has the capacity, but Syrison ready to greet him. Bullet into the bottom. Acor reveals himself, and they got a 3-man hold of this bomb. He wouldn't even have time to get it down at this point, so just looking for somehow a miraculous 3 kills. And that's the end of that. 14 on the board, and if you weren't keeping track, this has been a very dominant second half. The score as it currently stands in our second half is 8-1, and that's just the one sandwiched in the middle of 4 rounds on the trot from Big on either side. This is tabseN's evasive maneuvers. You see all those bullets just by standing still. He gets away from that, and as Bemis playing anti-flash, he strikes. I mean, tabseN active on the map for the squad. He's leading by example with 24 frags.
There have been a couple of opportunities in this second half where Mouse have gotten opening kills, and one of those was the frozen scout through the door, which they did convert, right? But they're going to need some more. And you can see right here, it's pretty dominant, right? We're not talking 1v1s. We're not talking anything like that. There's a decent economy for Big-ish, right? I'm saying ish because if they do drop another one of these, which would be the 4th low buy scenario for Mouse to be winning out here, then we're going to have to start having a conversation about what that buy is going to look like. Yeah. But this is a chance for them to lock things up. This should be the gimme number 15 for Big right here.
Frozen, got it again. Can you do it again? Oh, he can tag him. Humble Syrison. But they've got their B defenders across. You can see the blood splatter to confirm its suspicions. But Syrson's operating at a little bit of a disadvantage. Keto's been tagged as well over on that box. It's Rops with his scout connecting, but still, it's just injured members of Berlin International Gaming. They are in absolutely no hurry.
It's crazy how they're not worried about any short presence either. They know that there's always going to be a tell, like some footsteps or utility. Like tabseN's not worried about it. You can see that Syrison now is just flicking his attention over there. They've locked down long, they've locked down B. You're going to need a couple of miracle shots here. We take a look at the util available for Mouse to try and make this one work. They have 1 smoke and 2 flashes, and Dexter has that smoke in his hand. So this is going to be a ruse. They're going to throw this over towards A, hope that it draws the attention of tabseN, and try and go mid to B.
tabseN.
That's the bomb. They know the bomb's mid doors.
Spotted out as it's centering forces them forward, and he is absolutely raring to go. Clean conversions on 2 of them, and the nade, everything is spot on. This one's over. Somebody get me a fork and stick it in this map, because this is 15. Cream crackered. mousesports, nothing to show for their T side, bar the headshots out of Frozen scout opener.
This is mental from tabseN here as far as utility damage goes. You know, it was pretty good from Acor, who's had 324 utility damage for tabseN at this point, up to 513. Every time he seems to throw a HE, it's landing in the middle of the pack and softening up multiple members.
The 2 members have nearly 800 damage combined. Oh, sorry, nearly 1,000, I suppose. And oh, going for the aggressive reload. Nearly. 15, mousesports 10.
So I spoke too soon. It didn't even add on his util damage from that round until it ended. So 646 for tabseN here. He's having a great time with the util.
Sounds like, yeah, we're reaching that 1K mark. We were celebrating Alexi's 1,000 damage on his own, but they haven't been doing any nade juggling. They've just been slamming them.
All right, well, one more round here, and considering mousesports the only round they've won within this half, it's been a low buy. What can they get done? The rifle round's not in their favor by any means, and towards long, the Hail Mary called. Flashes are in, defensive. Dizzy instead. Bemis has finally found them an opening. Syrison responds, and tabseN here for more punishment.
Oh, they just don't stop. There's more to come. Gabe does deliver, and that's enough. Like, that was the one he had to win. Could have lost long control, and now far from it. It's still under their remit. There's still 90 seconds on that clock. Dexter retrieving what little utility he can from the fallen comrades.
But this is the problem, right? It's another number disadvantage situation. And this has been the story for mousesports here within this half. Fantastic stuff from Big, and they should be looking to close this out. Have heavily rotated over towards 8. They're already chasing through spawn. They're already at spawn. They're shooting them in the back.
Oopsie. Dave nearly with a whiff.
I've actually given them a chance
Yeah,
here,
they
Vic.
have. They get to take these fights. It's just a one-on-one. Mano el mano. And there you go. Dexter actually gets given that gift, and they know Gade was taking shots. Mid to be smoke.
Look at Sirison coming through lower dark.
Yeah, and he's going to have a chance, which he will not let slip. Big Clan, that's a solid lockout of their defense, and making it clear why Dust2 was their pick. It did look like something you didn't want to trifle with them with, especially on that second half.
Yeah, definitely a close game in terms of the first half, right? But then as we flicked on over, and you keep recounting the fact that mousesports had so many low buy wins, right? So many low buy wins with the pistols, some really good